aika huivit ylös nostaa. SJK! Ei me luovuteta koskaan. Ei koskaan. SJK! Jos et tajunnut tosta, niin se Seinäjoen jalkapallokerho. SJK! Ja muita joo, eikä tuu, se on meidän kerho.
Moi, I'm Mark. And I'm Jules, and this is the Seinäjoki Football Supporters Podcast, bringing you news, reviews and interviews from SJK Seinäjoki.
Yeah, but we're doing it in English for an international fan base. So, Jules, what's in this week's show?
Well, we always got a special guest. We've got a very, very special guest. Very special guest. We've got a special guest. It's club captain Rasmus Rasse Karjalainen. Welcome to the show, Rasse.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Honor to have you here.
Yeah, it's great. I tapped Rasse up at the end of last season. We were in the bar after one of the final games, having a good old chat, and I wanted to reach out and bring you in at the start of this new season. So this is great. Thanks for being there.
Oh, really nice. I remember that chat really well.
Well, then you weren't partying hard enough. Because I remember it vaguely.
I think it was too early.
Yeah, maybe for you, yeah.
I think, Mark, we had about 3 or 4 hours start on the players. That's what it was for the drinking. So yeah,
this is true. Jules, I know we've got an agenda for this and we've got it all numbered nicely. But I'm wondering if for some of the listeners will know Rasse's name, but maybe not know the history so well. And should we start by talking a little bit about Rasse's journey to SJK? What do you think?
Yeah, well, let's ask Rasse.
Yeah, we can do that, definitely.
Yeah.
I suppose let's start your back early in your career. You were here at SJK Academy back in 2015, which was the year obviously we won the Veikkausliiga, and then you've been on a bit of a journey since then. But how are things different nowadays compared to when you had that season in the academy?
That was a great season here in Seinäjoki. The club was already like going quite fast. Up, growing quite fast. I think it was second season in Veikkausliiga for the first team. The club had an academy team. It was called Kerho 07 that time, which was not like actually the academy team, but it was just second team of the club. And there was not that player pathway which we're talking about these days, which is unbelievable. It's a great thing, and probably my career would have been a little bit different if there were the player pathway that time. I played good season in Kakkonen that time, so third highest division that time, and after that, basically there was not like place for me to go in SJK because obviously I was not ready for playing for the first team, who were Finnish champions that time, and I was probably too good to play in Kakkonen. So that is massively different these days. There is no if that would have happened this season, I think they wouldn't let me go really easily from the club. Yeah. And but that time it was more like, yeah, I played there. I went home to Oulu for a while. I tried to call if you want me to stay here, but it was just understandable. They just won the league, and so it was not like clear play pathway that time. So that's massively different these days. Obviously, stadium is a big thing. Everything, facilities here. There was wall sport, but it's totally different what they have now built during that time. We played in Keskuskenttä still. It's quite remarkable how different that is compared to the Omaispe Stadium. So,
and then
in a way, everything is different, but in a way, everything is still similar. There's same people working in the club, same family feeling still.
And you had a career that sort of took you around the the northern teams or teams of northern Finland in AC Oulu, then PS Kemi into the Veikkausliiga, and a couple of seasons at KuPS before making that journey overseas to Netherlands and then to Sweden as well.
Yes.
How was that? How was that journey? That moving overseas? You were relatively young, but not a kid anymore, I suppose. And what did that do for you as a player?
It was great. 4 years around what I spent overseas. Of course, everybody can understand the jump from Veikkausliiga to Eredivisie, which is one of the top leagues in Europe. It's massive, and it was massive for me. The weird thing, in a way, for me has been that basically everywhere, all of my clubs, 3 clubs in one club in Holland, 2 clubs in Sweden, basically every club I went into as profile signing. And it's not every day that Finnish player goes as profile signing from Veikkausliiga to Eredivisie team. And that's that taught me a lot. That taught me a lot of handling pressure. I was basically given straight the starting lineup place, which obviously I lost in few months, but because I was not yet ready for all that, which I think was quite natural. But still, it's kind of weird that player goes from Finland to being always signed as a player who has a lot of expectations. Because then when I went to Sweden, when I went to Holland, I went as national team player. And then when I went from Holland to Sweden, I went as national team and Eredivisie player. And that's quite like big signing to Sweden.
And into Allsvenskan as well in Sweden.
Yeah,
first.
yeah. And I did.
Is there anything that could have helped prepare you for that?
No, I think it's just I went the pro. I always thought that I'm not going to be that guy who tells who is saying that the tempo is so high here, and like these normal phrases what you hear from Finnish players. Yeah. But of course, it's kind of surprises you what kind of it didn't. I was expecting people basically to bully me and what I've heard football is. It was not that, but it's probably the pressure coming from outside. From the fans, because fan base is much bigger there. Obviously they give pressure, but also in the team, like how much you want when you're a new player, you come from Finland to the Dutch league, you want to prove. I know the coach knows how good I am. He's the one who signed me. He knows. He's seen my videos and my goals. But I want to prove to the other players that they can pass me, and if they pass to me, I can get the ball. I can keep the ball. I can score a goal. So that was the biggest thing for me, to prove myself to the other players, and then the fans or something. But
was there a lack of this kind of pressure then when you came back to SJK? But even though you're a profile signing, it's a much lower level. Or did you still feel pressure to prove yourself, or when you came back here?
No, I feel, yeah, of course I feel like basically after KuPS, after I went from KuPS to Holland, basically everywhere I went as a player who's been like put a lot of weight to his shoulders. But I like that because it's the weight that you deserve. Nobody's expecting you things if you haven't proved that you can do it. So no, I don't. It's different what I feel now, what I felt 6 years ago, because I was a younger player. Now I don't take so much pressure from outside, but my own pressure is quite high. I keep myself on my feet. I don't let myself relax too much, because if I'm too relaxed, I'm not going to play well. So I try to be in like you can say chase mode all the time. Like I'm chasing all the time something.
Yeah.
Even though if I'm playing well, I'm scoring, I still need to have in my mind something what I'm chasing every game. So
you've got one of your teammates from last year, Puru Hannala. He's kind of following that path now that you went 6 years ago. Were you able to give him some advice on how to handle that step up?
Yeah, I hope so. We talked a lot with Puru. Puru is my good friend. We talked a lot with him, also about life abroad, about playing football abroad. Obviously, Puru has some experience, but it's mainly academy experience from Denmark. So you can imagine that Polish league is totally different thing. I hope I could give some advice to Puru. We talked a lot. I tried to tell Puru, like I try to tell every day to the guys. If I see something, I try to tell them that if you go there, you really need to do this, and if you go there, you really. I'm not giving them advices how to play. I'm giving them advices how to be prepared and how to give themselves possibility to be successful. You know, I cannot say to Puru that how you should play, or I cannot say how these boys here how they should play football. No, they have their own game and they learn it themselves. But I can tell them that it's a demanding place, and you need to be prepared, and you need to really give everything. That's what I can tell, and I hope Puru got some.
Yeah, I'm sure it's life. It's how to handle life and handle the pressure, rather than how to kick the ball, is the stuff that he can really that you can really benefit from hearing from you.
Yeah, and how to definitely, and how to give yourself biggest chance to be successful, because there is so many players out there who would give their right hand to play in those clubs and to get a spot from that squad. So it's you need to do everything, literally everything right, that you stay there, because you need to sleep well, you need to eat well, you need to come. You cannot come last minute to training. You cannot be first guy to leave the training, because first is not good for you because you need to do more. But second, if the coach sees you always come last and you leave first, he will ask that, are you interested?
Yeah.
And it's like this. That's something I try to tell always here, that you need to do it yourself for you, but you also need to prove for the coaches that you are up for the work, you are willing to do it. And it's quite like, it's not easy life there. It's really difficult. There's a lot of people wanting to take your place there.
So you've been giving your experience, and it was clear last season that you were a leader on the pitch, although you weren't officially the club captain, but now you are. So do you think your role has changed, or is it just a name change, and you've been kind of doing this kind of captain-like role already? Or
Not really. Basically, nothing has changed, except I need to make handshakes with referees, but it's really nothing really has changed. Obviously, Tiki was great captain last season. Tiki was a great example for everyone. He handled the pressure and team leading well. But I just try to be what I am. I'm a naturally leading player. I've grown into it, and one part because of what we just spoke. I went always to the team, which I'm like bigger signing. So I had always had expectation to be kind of leader. So that's what I am. It's a good question, Jules. It's not really like nothing's really changed. And that's what I thought with Stevie. Also, we had a meeting I think 1 month ago, and he asked me what about the captaincy, how I feel. I said nothing really changed. I don't think players feel that nothing really changed. I talk same things. I talk as much as I talked last season, and it's just, and Stevie agreed. I think he said that he knew that was not going to change me. So yeah,
Great.
I think my friends in the Finnish football show would like me to just ask you something about your international career. You played for Finland 13 times. You scored once while you were playing for Cubs and Fortuna Sittard in Netherlands. But the thing that I wanted to ask you about is that this was kind of peak Rive era when Markku Kanerva was the manager of the national team. Did you feel like, and you played like up until 2020, so just before the qualification for the Euros, did you feel then that you were part of something special?
Of course, definitely. When I look back, it was when I made my national team debut. It was June 2018, and that was just before last games before the Nations League started. 2018. It was just 1 month after Teemu Pukki had just signed to Norwich City, and he was getting ready for championship. And that was the 2018 Nations League, which we started really well. That, and Teemu was on fire. I think everybody played really well, and 1 year after that we got promoted. We got qualification to the Euros. Yeah, definitely. I think I wish I could, but I cannot say it's because of me. But I have to say I was lucky that was part of the squad I played. I am really proud that I was there. I played, I think my last game in national team so far is 2-0 away win from France. So that's quite decent also. So
that was some game, wasn't it? Those goals in that game were something else.
Yeah, that was my best game of my life, definitely. I played 3 years in national team round, and I'm really proud. Only thing what I'm sad is that I got like a serious head injury 2 months before the Euro tournament, and that made me definitely to be out of the squad, and that was big hit for me. That was really, that's one of the hard, if not, of course, it's hardest point of my football career to get a ball in your head in Örebro training, and then I joined the national team squad, and in Helsinki I just get a little bit dizzy, and they send me to the hospital, and that's it.
So that's all it was, is someone kicked the ball really hard at your head?
Yeah, in training. I was pressing, and centre back tried to make a full switch, and I get ball from one meter. I get ball straight to my head. My head goes a little bit like kind of whiplash, and there was damage in the artery there. So it's really unfortunate. And the way it happened, I went to national team, and they sent me to the MRI and everything, and they saw what's going on. They say no football for me, at least for next control. It was like 1 month, and the thing that it was COVID time that time, so it was bubble. UEFA bubble, it was really strict. So when I left from the national team hotel to the hospital, I break the bubble, and to get into the bubble with the players and stuff again, I would have needed to do a negative COVID test. Right. And next test was next day, so I could not go back in with Rive and the players and tell them that I have this injury, I need to go home. I could not see anyone. So basically, I was in training normally with them. I was in meeting, and then I was taken to hospital in the evening. And next morning, I just need to send the players WhatsApp group message that guys, I need to go. That is no football for me now. And that's the last time I was with national team when I was.
That's really rough. And you look back and realize what a weird time COVID was. It's only 5 years ago, and can't remember these things. And then you tell a story like that, and you remember quite how restricted things were.
Terrible. Yeah, it was a weird time, definitely.
Happy birthday for 2 weeks ago.
Thank you, Jules.
So you are Well, for us, you're a young spring chicken, but 29 years old now. What's it like being the elder statesman in the group? I mean, who's the next youngest in the team after you?
I think they are all 24. I think they're Fatih, Kelvin, and Valentin. They are 24.
Yes. So
So
what's
they're
it
5 years
like?
younger
I
than
mean,
me.
you've got different music tastes or something, or
Yeah,
different references.
me and Kasper, we have a similar. Me and Kasper, we're playing a lot of Scorpions
Huh.
and some Bon Jovi and sometimes Elvis, if you feel like. Kasper is kind of like old soul, so he's
He's old before his time, Casper.
yeah. So yeah, and I'm probably also, so it's not like, yeah, I cannot handle this Rolex rap, what they're listening, the new generation. So that's
The
what I
new
call it.
generation 5 years behind you.
Yeah, but it's totally different. It's totally different.
Okay.
And it's not 5 years, it's mostly 10 years behind me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, the next
These guys are
20.
old. These
Yeah.
guys are old. No,
Yeah.
I don't feel old. I think the guys are in team. It's like I'm. It's, I don't feel that I'm too old there. Obviously, it'd be nice to have someone also like my generation taking part of the leadership. But I like to be with young guys. They are really passionate about football. They are really hungry to prove, and it pushes me also. Well, of course, that takes that point that it's, of course, they're young guys and sometimes needed to I need to be telling them off.
Yeah.
But I would like to think that I give them also good feedback a lot. So.
And after one of the Liga Cup games this year, you told me that you're still one of the fastest or the fastest in the squad.
Oh, I haven't told you that. Okay. Is
Did I
that true?
misunderstand that?
That was probably a joke. Because I'm definitely not. But I would be lying if I told you that. I'm probably faster than the brain still.
Okay, that's good. That's good enough. That's good enough.
No, in football, paces in your head. Yeah, I'm not slow, but they are really fast. All of these guys, especially almost everyone in our team is fast. So I don't consider myself especially slow, and the data doesn't say that. But I'm definitely not the fastest.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. We had one. We asked some of our WhatsApp group if they had any questions to throw at you, and they were absolutely hopeless. And we received one question, which was from Paul Riley, and it was a
Yes.
question about you.
First of all, do you know Paul well, or have you met him?
Yeah. I met Paul. Is yeah, we've met and we've talked in WhatsApp, and many times after the game. He used to send me good feedback. Not really giving stick when I deserved it, but he was always sending message after goal. So it was nice. He's a really nice guy. Paul is great man.
Well, he made a comment about you taking more shots in the past and now maybe taking more touches. And I didn't want to ask quite such a blunt question. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, because Paul put it a bit more
He
rudely
definitely
than that,
put
didn't
it,
he?
he did put it more bluntly than that, yeah. But I wanted to ask, like, has your role now that you're at SJK, do you feel like your role and the job you're doing within the team has changed from, 5 years ago or whatever, when you were playing in Sweden or Netherlands?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Since I played here last time, basically, I started to score a lot of goals in cups. I scored, I think, 16 goals in one season, and that made me quite a lot as a goal scorer. And in cups, I was centre forward. I was kind of like poacher, you could say. I had the quite low amount of touches during the game, but I had a lot of shots and a lot of goals. So obviously, when I was signed abroad, I was signed as a striker, as a goal scorer, who are measured by goals. That's what strikers are, and that's what I thought myself I am also. So I identified myself mainly as a goal scorer, and if I scored a goal, I played well. If I didn't score a goal, I played shit. So that was it. And nowadays, Stevie and Tony, massive credit to them. They I don't know like how that. I've always felt in the training approach that I'm a good overall player also, but I couldn't get that in the game because in the game I had more important things to do to be goal scorer. So last year when I arrived the training, Stevie and Tony, I guess they saw something. I guess they saw me taking a lot of responsibility also with the game, playing lower on the pitch, and they saw me as a complete player, and I'm really happy about that. Last season, I was really complete player, and I learned to be even more complete player, and the data shows also that I was really complete attacker in Veikkausliiga level, and I'm really happy about that because I don't need to be fuming anymore if we win and I don't score a goal.
So there's your answer, Paul. He's a better footballer now, which is why he doesn't get the chance to take so many shots.
Yeah, but still, there's goal scorer inside of me, and I'm mad if I don't score, especially, and I don't like. I would have liked to get even more chances, but I know that I have a bigger role than only goal scorer, and I really like it. I think I played my best season last season, so I'm kind of playing my best football at the moment.
So how much time do you practice your direct free kicks?
I practice them around once a week after training. Whenever I don't have like player that I need to do it on every Thursday, but I do it. I try to do it once a week. Few free kicks at least to get the feeling.
With goalkeepers
sometimes.
As practice, or just into
an I'd like to have always goalkeepers because it gives me a lot, and the wall gives me the height where I need to go over, and then I see the crossbar where I need to go under. So it's like I think I'm a visual person, so I like to have some kind of wall there.
Do you make your teammates line up and then blast the ball out?
Yeah, I used to be that youngster who stayed 45 minutes after the training. You used to stand in a wall. Definitely. I'm not doing that to anyone. We have these mannequins.
Yeah. The world has changed. There would be some kind of health and safety problem with that nowadays.
Yeah. I used to be the youngster. I'm not going to do that for anyone. But yeah, I tried to practice my freaks also.
Shall we move on to talking about SJK's fantastic start?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's look back first at the first couple of games, and then look forward to the upcoming games. And the first game was the KTP 0, SJK 1, the away game down in Kotka. And Jules, you had something of a road trip.
Yeah.
Describe that
hang
for
on.
people.
Describe it.
I mean, not in real time. It was quite long.
Yeah,
but...
It started at 9:30 in the morning, and I was home by about 2:00 at night. So, yeah, all I can remember is the journey back seemed like much longer than the journey there. And we won. So God knows what it would have been like if we lost. But
on WhatsApp, there were all these photos from the coach, and there were people, looking very tired. Like they played the game as well. The fans play the game in their own way, and everyone looked tired. And I just thought that beer buzz that you get on the way down, that starts to wear off.
First game of the season, that was
and then there were just videos and photos of people asleep, and I thought, that looks hard.
It felt like we came back via Turku.
I
bet it did. Yeah. Oh, you survived. You were ever so brave.
Massive respect for everyone who went. Like massive respect. It's a long journey.
Yeah, it was a good trip. I'd never been to Kotka before, so it was nice to when we came out as well. When we went in, we didn't really see much of it, but it was nice to come out via the coast and actually see a bit of it. So yeah, that was good.
And it was Kotka, obviously, or KTP, just recently promoted. Jules, you were involved with the Finnish football show. We pulled a fan from every club together and did like a preview of the season. And Sami, the KTP SLO, was cautiously optimistic at the start of the year, or the start before the season started anyway. And that was a tougher game. It felt, watching it felt like a tougher game than I was hoping for.
What do you think, Rasse? How was the game?
That's the question.
Well, I think I've said this in many times in in that media opening thing in Helsinki a few weeks back. I think I said a lot of times that one of the worst away games, one of the most difficult away games, is Kotka away, and considering they are newly promoted, it's a first game of the season. That's their home game. It's not easy. It's football. It's football city. It really is, and they are passionate about football. I knew that it's not going to be easy, and it was not. But we managed to do it, so that's what matters. But yeah, it was not easy, but I knew that it's one of the hardest away games in the league.
And I think there were a couple of, I mean, they had a lot of chances, didn't they? And a couple of really important clearances. I think you had one very close to the line, and Casper somehow turned that one over the bar at the end. I mean, I think that's worth a goal. That should somehow, he should, if he gets a bonus for scoring a goal, he should get one for clearing that from under the crossbar.
That's definitely worth a goal. Yeah, that was great job by Gasper there.
I think the teams were quite evenly balanced, and it's very good to get 3 points from that. Yes,
and they're gonna take a lot of points from our competitors. So it's you saw already they draw VPS.
Yeah, shame they didn't take more points against VPS.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
And I think we have to just remind people of that goal as well, because it was quite a special goal to win the game. Rasmus Karjalainen making his first Veikkausliiga appearance in that game, threaded a ball just past the defender. You know, if it had slightly bigger boots, he might have got a toe to it. And then Mamadou Bojang went round the keeper. And I mean, when he shot, he was almost in the stand behind the goal, or if there had been a stand. You know, it was that tight an angle to get it in. It was quite a finish, wasn't it?
Yes, great finish from Momo, and yeah, it was really nice to see Mamadou Bojang score that goal. He's been, of course, not scoring too many goals in SJK, and I think it was a big relief for him to score that goal, and he was really happy about it. The whole team was really happy about it. He's one of the great like locker room guys, and he brings a lot of joy, a lot of love to the dressing room. So everyone was happy for him.
How was your journey home? Did you stay over that night and then come back the next day?
No.
Oh, okay.
We straight away to the bus, and yeah.
What time were you back in Seinäjoki? Can you remember?
I think we were between 2 and 3. So
okay, yeah.
So, but that's something I think players are used to. Many players sleep there, and it's just part of the business. I think many players who have played in Finland longer, they get used to it. They get used to that they need to start recovering already on the bus, and that's just it.
So we start off with a tough away game against a newly promoted team, and then we play HJK, who have some really big names in their squad now, and obviously always HJK start off as championship favourites or title favourites, or at least one of them. And well, Mark, how long did it take before you could start to speak again after the game?
My voice was gone by about 15 minutes into the game. I realised that I really should do some pre-season training for my vocal cords, but I just went straight in there, and I just realised I could shout, but then when I tried to talk to Satu or to Jules, I just could barely get the sound out. But that's nice. It's nice when you wake up the next day and your voice is still a bit rough from all the singing, because it means you've had something to sing and shout about. I think being at the ground, first game of the season, there's been some. Let's talk about the event first of all before the game. There's some changes so those that are members of the Clopit, now we get a discount through the ground, which is great. So anyone that's not a member of the Clopit it's €30 to join up, and you'll make it back if you drink enough drinks, you'll make it back pretty quickly.
Drink enough,
And
you can make it back in one night.
well, yeah, that's true. It's true enough. And what was also nice, Jules, is that in the stand behind the bar they had big beers now, so you get half a can of Carlsberg rather than just a small can. So that was nice to do. The happy hour in the bar beforehand, that's new. So the happy hour will be in the main Carlsberg bar. We had some issue with actually getting the right price for our drinks, and a bit of a disagreement with the barman. But I'm sure that'll be sorted out for the second home game. So, and the other thing, Jules, it was nice to see there were lots of people in the Cloppet area and some new faces or less regular fans. And so Satu and I realised we have to get there a little bit earlier to secure our spot.
Yeah, and like the guy that was stood next to me, and first of all I was a bit of like, hey, what you doing in my spot? But then he didn't know all the words to all the songs, but he knew enough, and he was very active, maybe as as excited as I was jumping around. And so, yeah, I definitely said that, come again, welcome again, that kind of enthusiasm and activity and noise.
But not great to on see. My spot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can make as much noise as you like.
Stand next to me anytime.
It is funny though, because sometimes the area is obviously less full, and you just get into the habit of watching from your spot, and I'm normally watching just between Jules and Billy, so that's my view of the game, is framed by their grey hair.
My spot's marked by a black stain on the concrete where somebody set off a smoke bomb next to my foot.
You nearly set fire to your shoe.
Yeah, I ruined my shoe. So my spot is marked in the grounds.
But but then the game started, and it was a great atmosphere. It's always good. I mean, we can't really hear the HJK fans unless we take a breath. But I'm sure those sitting in the two side stands get both of those sets of supporters sort of in stereo, and it must be a really good atmosphere. And the crowd was reported as 4,040 something. So decent crowd.
Yeah, let's just ask Rasse, what was it like to play in that game? Was there any specific pressure against playing against HJK, or how was it? How was your perspective?
No, it's not like specific pressure. I think games against HJK are kind of easy games to prepare for everyone, because it's like you say, HJK is the biggest club in Finland, and I think many players, especially foreigners, if they get hyped up against playing somebody, is HJK, and it's not like you need to motivate them. Yeah, it's nice. Of course, I think the biggest thing was it was our first home game, our first game this season in Omaspe, and the memories from last season. We played some really great football. Obviously, having you guys club it there for us for the first time in there this season is like something we wanted also to show to our new players, and I think they were really happy about the atmosphere and our stadium. I think the stadium was rocking on Friday, so it was great.
Yeah,
it was a tough start to the game. The teams switched the other end. Normally, you'd like to have your own goalkeeper for the first half, but it was switched, and so they
won the coin flip, and Alex Ring he wanted to change sides. Yeah. So that was the reason.
I wonder if some teams think there's some advantage, or just want to upset the rhythm or the normal rhythm of how a match day might go. Is it something like that? It certainly wasn't about the sun being in their eyes, because we saw the moon rising above the stand the other end. It was quite late.
Yeah, normally it was quite late. I think a little bit. I think he had seen the sun still there behind the Cloppet, right. Almost Cloppet stand in a warm up, so he properly took that because of the sun. I think there was still sun during the warm up, but around time the kickoff was there was not really effective sunlight to the goalkeeper's eyes. So yeah, but he wanted to change it.
It was quite a tough game for us to get into. It felt like HJK had the first 8 or 10 minutes and had the ball down the other end of the pitch, which is no good for Jules because he can't see past the halfway line. But then we started to play our way into the game, and I don't think when we're behind a goal, bouncing and shouting, we're talking our way through the game, but we're participating in the event. So being able to give a good tactical blow-by-blow account of the game is not my speciality.
Well, and also we don't know what we're talking about, Mark. That's another thing.
I'm quite good at bluffing. But I did want to mention Valentin Gasc because I think the fans really like him, but I don't know. It doesn't always come out in the games in the way that other players get a lot of singing about them. He has got a song, but he kind of goes about his business in an unfussy way. He's a bit of he's got a good line in, what should we call it, housery, and we'll come on to the red card in a minute. But I thought he was exceptional in that game. He was everywhere.
Yeah, he played best game I've seen him playing, and I told him quite many times this on Friday and also on Monday.
Can you tell him that I agree with you if that means anything?
I will tell him. I will tell him. I have to say about one of he absolutely loves Kloppit, and he's funny guy. He's also one of the jokers in dressing room, and sometimes he tries to sing his own chant. But the thing is that nobody else has heard it. So it's just a rumor that he has a chant, and is a rumor by himself. So yeah.
We'll have to get him to come onto the pod, and he can teach us the chant that he'd like us to sing for him.
Yeah, you probably know them better than some of the new club members.
Mark tried to launch the chant, which I'm not sure it's been accepted, but it's the one that I like. But it wasn't accepted because it's the Rolling Stones Jumping Jack Flash. So it goes, it's all right now on Valentin Gasc. On all right now on Valentin Gasc. Yeah. But the thing is that the
younger
members of the club don't know the song, so it hasn't been accepted really.
So yeah, we'll hear his song and we'll try and bring that into the club bit.
He deserves it.
And I said about the housery, but I think the red card, Hostika just lost his head, didn't he?
Gas kind of didn't go through the back of him, but it was a strong challenge, and you can see why you would be a bit angry if that kind of challenge was made on you, but not so angry that you should just try and kick the player up in the air.
Yeah,
which Hostika did. I think it could have been a easily straight red card for that.
Yeah, it wasn't. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. Yeah, as you say, it was. I thought it also right away after the situation was quite clear 2 yellow cards, and actually there were a lot of players where all over the place after that. But I heard Payman, the referee, he told basically right away to his microphone that he will give 2 different yellow cards. So I heard it quite fast that it's gonna be red. Then I just tried to calm our players down that you don't need to do anymore.
The referee's got this.
It's gonna be red.
That was quite an unusual situation for the ref to get his yellow out and give it to the same player twice, just like that. I haven't seen that very often. It was the right thing to do, but it's unusual situation.
He did, and I don't talk anything about Hostika. I don't want to analyze how he goes players' behavior, but I have to say referee did really well in that game overall. Payman Simani is a good referee, and he managed the thing really well.
Yeah, I agree. He refereed the game really well. I thought it was a well.
Yeah, and I think referees get a lot of stick in Finland, and I hear a lot of like these Finnish referees there. So
You hear a lot of that from the Cloppet, to be honest.
No, I hear a lot of that from players.
Right.
And,
Okay.
in every team I've heard it, but I have to say they've been lately. There's especially a few referees who are decent. So.
Yeah, there's a few where when you see their name, you're just like, oh no. And I won't name any names, but I've got my list. It does get longer every season with one name being added to it. But I think there's maybe 4 of them now where you see the name and think, oh, here we go. But yeah, maybe we can move on from that. Lovely goal from Kasper. I think Kasper Pannen is he's sort of stepped up now. He's taken Puru Hannela's shirt. He's taken his position. They're different players, but he's taken his position, and I think we're going to really see Kasper grow during this season. And it was a lovely strike, a sort of drop of the shoulder, and then just sort of driving it into the corner. Clearly caught the goalkeeper off, wrong footed, because he didn't really move towards it, and it just sort of went into the bottom corner, and that was lovely. There was a bit of celebrating in front of the HJK fans. Had there been some banter coming from them, or was it just a moment of celebrating at the end you scored in?
I don't know. I don't think that, like, normally, yeah, of course, normally that you hear something from the different teams fans, but it's nothing. I don't think there was nothing
No.
too special from HJK fans. I think it was just a moment.
Yeah,
it just happened to be there, and then tight game. Yeah, no. I think it was just a moment.
And the other thing I wanted to mention was about after the game. Obviously, the Cloppet goes to celebrate with the team goes to celebrate with the juniors at the far end, and that's really special for those kids. What I noticed on the highlights after the match was how long Teemu Pukki stayed there signing for the SJK fans. Selfies and signatures and all of it. And he must have been thinking, oh, all I really want to do is get out of here after another defeat for HJK. But what a legend.
Yeah. I think that tells everything about the Teme as a person, as a player, but obviously most important as a person. He's a great guy, and I know him quite well from the years in national team, and him and Lukas Radecki, the biggest stars in national team, the most feet on the ground guys, and always players who was easy to talk and who created the new ones, and yeah, it's just great guys.
We haven't had Teemu Pukki on the Finnish Football Show, but we did interview Lukas Radecki a few years ago, and he tried to do the interview while wearing the owl mask. And after a couple of minutes, I had to say, "Look, you've got to take it off. We can't hear a word you're saying. Your mouth is under the mask." And
he probably had a beer under that.
No, that was going to be my next thing. Is through the interview, he cracked open at least 2 beers while he was doing it. But I'd have to agree. He's up there as one of my Finnish football favourites for
yes.
sure.
Teemu Pukki hit the post twice, so he's gonna get a handful of goals this season. It's like he's not, as I was trying to tell him, he's not too old, he's not too bald, and he's not too rubbish. I was shouting out, he is actually a class act, but I'm sure an amateur trying to put him off like me didn't affect him at all. Yeah,
that's what we're there for, Jules.
Yeah. So next up is a difficult away trip to Mariehamn, which, if people don't know, if they don't know Finland, it's the islands that are basically between Finland and Sweden. So it's a long journey involving various boats or ships. So what are the travel arrangements? First of all, when do you have to leave?
We will leave tomorrow, so Thursday. It's going to be a long trip again. First game is, I think, Saturday is 5:00. Yeah, we'll go on Thursday to Turku and stay in Turku. Friday morning we go by ferry to the island, and we train on Friday there, and then the game, and after the game night boat back and then drive to Seinäjoki. It's a long trip, like you say, Jules. It's difficult. It's also one of the more difficult away games, and the biggest thing for us is what I try to be all over the place now all week. We won 6 points now out of 6. It could be. I understand it could be easy now to think that okay, KTP away, difficult game, first game of season, always difficult. HJK home, we won. Now we can just a little bit relax, but that's the worst thing you can do now. We need to be on our toes. We need to be even more focused than we were against KTP or HJK. First game of season, easy to focus, easy to motivate. HJK home, first game of season home, easy to motivate. But now we need to focus even more.
Yeah. If we don't get a result in Mariehamn, then it kind of takes away the result against HJK. So, you know, I was happy. I said on the way to Kotka that I'd be happy with 7 points from the first 3 games, but now obviously I want 9. But you know, that's the kind of thing that you need. As you said, you know, we can't take the foot off the gas now, because then it will lessen how effective the first 2 games have been.
Exactly, and that's the difficult of football mentality. Difficult. You need to be strong mentally.
Now, in the Premier League, for example, when it's February, then quite often teams have a team bonding experience. They go to Dubai for a midwinter break. But you're going on this long trip to Mariehamn. Is there any kind of, it's such a different trip. Is there any kind of team bonding or difference when you're spending so much time with your teammates and on a kind of journey, or is it just like any other away trip but longer?
Yeah, well, of course, it's kind of normal thing. It belongs to Finland, Finnish league, to travel to Mariehamn. It's not usually nothing special in those trips. We had already 2 team bonding trips, to first to Tallinn in January and then the Sweden to play against Sirius in March. So not going to be like special team bonding or anything. I don't think those coaches can come up with something like not usually. Then the trip back, if it's win in history, many times has been like a little bit more free in the boat. Definitely not going to be that now.
Got a game on Wednesday.
Yeah, we've got a game on Wednesday, and it's highly important now that we eat well after Saturday's game, and then we get everyone good sleep in a ferry. So definitely, of course, we can enjoy if we win like normally, but it's not going to be like party both definitely no.
Okay, so that's a message to all the Kloppit travelling lads. Don't buy the players too many drinks. It's like,
But that was where the bonding happened last year, wasn't it? It was when the Kloppit got to meet some of the players. I think that it was that kind of bonding was quite important in 2024.
Yes, and that Mariehamn trip was one of them. It was great trip, and I think everyone looks after with smile that trip. It was great trip, and but to be honest, after that we throw Lahti 5-5, and then was a bit of downhill. So I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying that definitely now we need to be focused for the Wednesday after that.
But that's a marketing person's dream. So like on Wednesday the 23rd, it's a home match against AC Oulu. So 5-5, or let's make it 5-4 this time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Please, not even 4.
But the 5's good.
5 is all right, yeah.
And looking at Mariehamn, I mean, it's so early in the season. It's very difficult to draw any conclusions really. But they lost 2-0 at home to Jaro in the first game of the season, and then went away and got a really useful win away to Haka in the second game of the season. So I don't know. I can't really predict. I can predict we're going to win because I always predict we're going to win. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. But I think they're a team that's had some difficult seasons recently, so we have to be going there believing we can win and going for that. And you know, 2 1-0 wins is good, but I'd settle for a 3-0.
And what do you think about them, Rasse? What's your opinion?
I haven't really seen them playing yet. We're gonna have a analysis plus showed I think tomorrow and on Friday, so we're gonna have a clear picture how they play. But I think the most important thing is not to focus on them, but is focus on us. In any way, if we go there and play our best football, play in our own good level, we should win that game. And that should be our mentality when we go there, not thinking too much about them, not thinking too much about history, what we've done in the last 2 weeks. It's a new game, new 3 points. Everyone knows it's a difficult place. Every game in Veikkausliiga is difficult. They just won Haka away, which is obviously a really difficult away game for them. So know that it's not going to be easy, but if we are on our good normal day level, we should win this game.
And then we've mentioned it already that it's followed up by the home game on Wednesday, the 23rd against Oulu, and that's followed by a Monday game at home to Haka. So by the time we get back together again, Jules, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll have a few games to discuss, and we'll have another fan on to talk through those games with us.
You're saying that we maybe have lost our voices by then, and we need somebody else.
Yeah, probably. But like I said, I think I said on air or off air. We've been talking so long, I can't remember now. That we want to get players on, we want to get fans on, and make this something where we keep everybody involved. So. Yeah. But I reckon, Jules, that just about wraps it up for this episode.
I'm thinking the same. We're spare the listener any more listening.
So thanks to Rasse for joining us. That was brilliant. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, guys. You do a great job, great podcast, and also great job understands home and away. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Listener, remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening or watching, and you can find the whole archive of our episodes on YouTube.
And you can contact the Seinäjoki Supporters podcast by email at seinäjokifootballpod@gmail.com. And you can find all our content or links to all our content on Linktree at Seinäjoki Football Pod.
We also have a WhatsApp group. We've mentioned it before, where we continue the conversation between podcasts and we share stuff on match days just to try and build up a bit of a buzz. It's open to any fan of SJK. So if you want to join, email us or find the link in Linktree and request to join. But if you request and I ask you why you want to join and you don't answer, you don't get in.
So until the next episode, see you at the stadium next to my place, not in my place, or see you online, and goodbye.
Heippa.
SJK